I start. So it's moving from entrepreneur to leaders. So when you talk about moving from entrepreneur to leader, what it implies is that as an entrepreneur, you could be running your business. You could be doing the business all alone. But there's going to be a stage that your business will become successful. At that stage, your business would expand. And because your business is going to expand, your mentality, your approach should change. From being that individual who controls just 10 people to now controlling over 100. So you can't just be a leader anymore, or you can't just be an entrepreneur anymore. You have to become a leader. That is what it means. So moving from an entrepreneur to leader would likely occur if a business becomes successful, like I just told you, as it means that the business can expand and have more staff than it used to have. So there's likely to be growth in the following ways. One, the number of workers might increase. The number and size of your financial transactions might increase. That is also expansion. Number and size of your customers might increase. That means the number of customers you have now, your sales revenue will increase. That's also a growth. Amount of regulations. That means the policies that the company makes will start increasing. Quantity of resources used, the kind of raw materials you use, the type of raw materials you use would have increased. Level and range of communication needed. At that point in time, your way of communication will be more formal than what it used to be. When you have just 6 or 7 workers with you, you can communicate with them informally. But when it becomes more, then there's need to be a system, there's need to be a structure. Is it clear? Then we move on to what are needed when you have to become a leader, an entrepreneur turning to become a leader. What are those things that we need to do to become that leader? 1. So I said here, the transition from entrepreneur to leader will bring about different changes, such as 1, the need for formality. So when you talk about the need for formality, we're talking about your way of communication and your system, your structure in the business. It has to change. So here I wrote, in a large organization where the entrepreneur becomes a leader, there's need for formality in terms of communication system and structure. So how your business will be organized will be different from how it used to be organized. 2, the need for share ownership. When businesses grow, they need capital to fund expansion. So to obtain funding, it sometimes needs you to invite new investors, new people.
Yeah.
I think that's clear. The 3rd one, greater responsibility to others. So an entrepreneur running a small business is only likely to have responsibility for a small number of employees. As soon as the business expands, then your responsibility becomes more, because the decisions you take will likely be important or critical to the livelihood of your employees. So your decisions will be different, and the employees might likely rely on decisions you take. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So that's what we're talking about, greater responsibility to others. As when you have 3 or 4 workers, decisions are easy to take. But when it becomes more, you have different people with different background. So decisions you take now must, cut across all of them. And they might really rely on it for their own livelihood.
Okay.
Is it clear?
Yeah.
That's about greater responsibility. Then we go to the need for motivation and inspiration. As the business grows, there's need to focus on the workforce. The leader must develop motivational skills. And he must be able to develop new talents. This is what we're talking about here. Is it clear?
Yeah.
You must inspire people. How do you inspire? Bringing out the best in them. Is it clear?
Mm-hmm.
The need for strategy and vision. So, as a leader, you are different from being an entrepreneur. As an entrepreneur, you could do everything yourself. But as a leader, you must believe that specialists will do better in their field. You must not say you want to do everything. You can't. You understand? So as a leader, what happens here? He said, as the business goes, the entrepreneur must turn to a leader by designing strategies and providing a vision for the future direction of the company. So what you need to do is start strategizing. you must strategize. Do you understand?
Yeah.
You must develop the future plan way forward for the business. And you must be able to know who is needed, which kind of manager you need to move the business forward. Is it clear? So what are the difficulties we face when we are turning a leader from being an entrepreneur? Number one, adapting the mindset. They said here entrepreneurs, when having a small business, usually have a desire for greater control over their lives, their life, career, and destiny. Most of the time, this is autonomy. They want to have control over everything. Autonomy. That is when you are an entrepreneur. Do you understand? So some people want to become entrepreneur because they want autonomy. They want to have control over their life, over their career, over their destiny. But as a leader, no, it's not possible. Why? As a leader, you have to develop and focus on different things. And what are those things you have to focus on? You have to believe that specialists, like I told you earlier, you have to believe that there is need for you to employ specialists, because specialists, they will be good in their field. So the mindset has to change.
Yeah.
You won't be able to do everything like you used to do. That's what we're talking about, the mindset. Autonomy is over. Now you have to delegate. Now you have to think of employing specialists who can be better in their field. You won't be able to do everything. Is it clear?
Yes.
So what happens if they said here? So lack of trust, fears, and doubts could create a barrier to development. So the problem becomes doubt, trust, fear that employing these people to do the job, they might not do it well. So these things could create a problem to develop your business. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Stress, that's another problem we face. Running a business is stressful, no doubt about that. Because the livelihood of the business, the livelihood of the entrepreneur and the families of the entrepreneur lies in the business, in the success of the business. So the stress of what happens if this business collapses will always be there. It's a stress. You don't know what happens afterwards. What about if this business collapses? What would be our fate? Do you understand? So this alone is a stress. Do you understand? 3, share ownership and control. Some entrepreneurs may struggle with a loss of control when the business expands. When the business expands, there's need for you to invite people, shareholders, investors. And when you do this, it injects more capital into the business, right? But at the same time, you lose ownership, you lose control to these people. And that's a problem. Some people don't like it. And not only the control, you have to share profits. So share of profit is a problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it clear? Is it clear, please?
Yes, it is.
Trust, that's another problem. As entrepreneurs develop as leaders, they may have problems trusting people. You know, this is critical. It's a critical problem. It's a critical situation, because when you don't trust people, you don't delegate authority to them. So those that are working with you, they start questioning you. They start questioning the trust that, this person doesn't trust us. Why can't he trust us with this job? Why can't he trust us with this responsibility?
They will be less motivated.
They will be less motivated, and that's the problem. I think that's clear. Lack of leadership qualities. Here, as the business expands, entrepreneurs need to take more leadership duties, but it could be a concern if they lack the necessary leadership skill and quality. And when this is lacking, what happens? This will cause a problem for some entrepreneurs as they develop into leaders. When you lack leadership skills and qualities, then it becomes a problem when you are turning to become a leader from being an entrepreneur. Do you get it? Do you understand what we're talking about? Lack of the skills, lack of the quality of a leader. When you are becoming a leader as an entrepreneur, then it becomes difficult for you to transit into that good leader. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Then, how do we overcome these problems? There are problems, right?
Yeah.
So how do we overcome these problems? To overcome these problems, we have to solve it with the problems, like the trust issues, lack of delegation. Now you have to delegate. You have to trust. So delegation and trust. A successful leader must be comfortable with delegation, as this would bring more harmony into the business or into the organization. Trust people. Delegate authority to them. This will make their mind free to you. Then you can work hand in hand. Then there will be harmony. There will be peace. Is it clear?
Yeah.
2, earn respect. How do you earn respect? By trusting your stakeholders. By the stakeholders. Who are the stakeholders? Those that have interest in your business. Your employees, the owners of the business, the shareholders, the government, your customers. Earn respect from them. How can you earn respect from them? By ensuring that you provide their needs and wants for them. This will make them to trust you. Do you understand? And that will make them to listen to you. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. I said here, this means meeting their needs and wants. I told you already. As a leader, you must be fair, but tough. Do you get it? Mm-hmm. You must be tough, but whatever you do, you have to be fair enough to everyone. I think it's clear. The third one, maturity and experience. Some people are born leaders. Naturally, they have the leadership quality. Others will learn through it with experience, maturity, time, mistakes made, correcting the mistakes, they become leaders. Do you understand what maturity and experience is? Some people are born leaders. They've got the charisma, they've got the leadership skills. Others will learn from their mistakes. They will learn, and they become better. They will make mistakes and they will become better. Is it clear?
Yeah.
The fourth one, education. Leadership skills can also be learned by attending specialist courses. You can learn leadership skills through courses, training. Is it clear? And the last one, reduce stress. A calm leader is likely to succeed than a stressed leader. And how can you reduce stress? Exercise, share your mind, share your views, eat balanced diet, rest. Do you understand? These things will make you to be more calmer as a leader, and you can succeed. Do you have any question about that?
No. Good.
Now, let's do the case study, please.